Every step I've taken, every word I've heard, and every soul I've met.
All have honed my view of this world
And the edge of my sword.
Great. I'm Emma Ballantine, and I play the two female protagonists in Duet Night Abyss.
And I'm Stewart Clarke, and I play the two male protagonists in Duet Night Abyss. So, Duet Night Abyss is an epic fantasy action role-playing game. And it's one of those games where the world itself is a character. It's this epic mix of tech futurism and fantasy. It's swords and sorcery and spells, but also you got people running around with grenade launchers, you know.
And demons.
And demons.
Lots of demons.
Lots of demons.
And the story follows a dual narrative. So there are two protagonists from very different backgrounds. So they have very different journeys and very different motivations, but through the game you realise that they're actually quite connected and linked, which they discover as it goes on.
Yeah, you've got these two races in Duet Night Abyss. You've got the Karens and the Solarians, and they are in constant conflict. I mean, there's a sort of fragile peace at the moment in the world, but it's a peace that could...
Very fragile.
Very fragile, yeah. Fragile in inverted commas. Like, it's basically gone, it's broken. And you've got this oppressive force from this contingent called the Hyperborean Empire. And I mean, it's quite a dark world.
It is a dark world, yeah. And I think that's one of the main things that really drives the game is the relationships between the characters and the characters themselves. And the game doesn't shy away from the darkness.
No, it doesn't.
Quite high stakes scenes, and yeah, that's what really pushes you forward. It's all very centered on the characterization and the relationships. Even in the dialogue. So the dialogue itself is very gamified, and you have a lot of control over the things that you pick will shape the character's personality, their journey, what happens. So it's a very kind of immersive, active gameplay. You're not being a passive player.
And it's also just so anime. It's great. Yeah. Like, it's, you know, you've got these high octane scenes, battles, gameplay, and these colourful characters all
beautiful
existing.
Artwork.
Yes. But yeah, as you say,
amazing.
not only do we have this incredible, exciting stuff, it doesn't shy away from the darker moments as well,
Yeah.
which really shocked me in a
Yeah.
lot of the storytelling.
Completely.
How would we describe Phoxhunter?
They don't hunt foxes.
Yeah, no, first and foremost, no foxes were harmed in the making of Duet Night Abyss. Although there are some like genimons. There's genimons that are these creatures that you can...
Look a little like foxes.
They do look a bit like foxes, and you do technically hunt to
Hunt
get
them.
You don't hunt them, you just collect them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But Phoxhunter, it's kind of, it's like a bounty hunter. So in this world of Duet Night Abyss, the currency and the energy source is called Phoxine.
Yes.
I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so as a fox hunter, you are trying to complete jobs to gather Phoxine. So yeah, one of our protagonists is a fox hunter, but she, him, I mean, tell me if you disagree, but they're not kind of motivated by hunting this Phoxine. Really, there's a much more personal reason why they get into being a
they're
fox
not like,
hunter.
right, I'm going to go make my riches. This is my way to wealth. No, it's more that, I mean, for the protagonist, the fox hunter protagonist, they've lived this very sheltered life on this island, Hyperborea.
Purgatoria.
They've lived a very sheltered life
Purgatorio?
on Purgatorio Island.
Yes.
And through events, I don't know how much we're allowed to say or spoil, but they end up leaving this island and washing up ashore in this city ice lake. And they're on this quest to find their childhood friend Berenica. And the best way to get ahead is to become a fox hunter.
Yeah.
For this protagonist who has no other prospects, because it allows them to get Phoxine, but it also allows them to meet characters and
get places
that they wouldn't otherwise get, and start investigating these stories. And that's how we meet the great characters in Ice Lake, and indeed further into the game.
Yeah.
Is by taking on these bounties, these fox hunter jobs, and getting mixed up in these crazy stories that have all these crazy twists and turns.
Yeah.
It's never as simple as you think. It might sound like, oh yeah, just go to the mine and
Yeah.
investigate this weird noise, and then it's like a whole
There's a whole
campaign.
thing, and every character has such a rich history and character arc, and yeah, there's so much to kind of delve into. And the Phoxhunter protagonist, what I loved about that character is they're very young. They're quite a young age-wise, and they could be seen as sort of, well, I think they can be quite underestimated potentially, or seen as being not as experienced as they are. And I love an underdog, and I think they are a bit of an underdog.
Definitely.
And actually, yeah, they're kind of whip smart, and they know exactly what's going on, and very brave, very courageous, and yeah, it's a fun ride. So the boy, girl in the dream, they are our second protagonist in the game. And we kind of first come across them through visions, right?
Yeah, that's our first introduction.
Yeah. And then when you start to play them, you kind of learn more about what's going on. Wait.
Well, they seem to have more answers than they let on at the very beginning. Appears in this vision, doesn't necessarily have a name. There's also it's distorted. I remember recording those lines.
Yeah.
And it was distorted in the text. I remember saying,
there were
I was
bits that
like,
were blocked
yes.
out.
I remember saying to the director, I was like, right, so do you want me to be like blah 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 blah, blah blah blah, or are you just going to mute them? And they were like, Stu, we're obviously just going to mute them. Like, why would you get me to? Yeah, but there's a lot of mystery going on with the boy and the girl in the dream.
Yeah.
And then eventually you do get to play as them. And then there's a whole oh my gosh, right. So we get this side of the story as well.
And so the boy, girl in the dream, they're kind of very strong military leader, leading the Griffin squad.
Yes.
So whilst our Phoxhunter protagonist is a Charon, which Stuart mentioned, that kind of a race which is very put down and demonized.
Yes.
Yeah. The boy, girl in the dream is from the Solarian race, and they are the ones who discriminate against the Charons. So they're very different sides of the coin. So it's really amazing to sort of play both and see how that takes them to different places, and then how they kind of intertwine later on.
I mean, the boy, girl in the dream, you were saying the Phoxhunter has this kind of youthful vivacity and an innocence about the world. Like, they've been brought up on this island. They don't really know the truth of the world yet. They're being taught that as we go along. Whereas boy, girl in the dream is like completely the opposite. They've seen it all.
Yeah.
And it's scarred them deeply.
Yeah, they are like ultra professional, guarded.
Because they have to be.
Yeah.
They're going through these military operations. They're fighting with the Hyperborean Empire. They have to kind of cut off their emotions a bit. And I think as that story progresses with the boy, girl in the dream, and they learn things about their squad and the military setup that they didn't know before, that edifice of I'm keeping everything in check just starts to crumble, and the emotions start to bleed through. So it's kind of, it's a funny, well, it's like a dual story, isn't it?
Yeah, like a
it's
duet.
funny like that.
It is like
the
a
two
duet.
characters just, going this way and that.
But yeah, they have that kind of mirrored opposite journey, where Phoxhunter starts off a bit more vulnerable, heart on sleeve, and then becomes more guarded and kind of a bit more jaded by the horrible things that they might encounter, whereas boy, girl in the dream, definitely starts to peel away some of those layers as we go on, and
meets characters like Daphne who
starts
to peel that away.
To let themselves come through a bit.
Yeah, so what was it like to voice both these characters, the Charon and the Solarian? It was brilliant. It's so rare you get an opportunity like this.
Yeah.
I think.
To voice two protagonists in one game.
Yeah.
And they're such distinct characters that it was really a fun challenge to find the different voices and kind of make them very distinct, but also have a kind of, there are similarities and there are connections between them. So that did come in vocally a bit, but also keeping them separate. It was a balancing act, wasn't it?
Finding echoes of each character, but making them very much distinct. And also paying homage to the fact that they do have incredibly different upbringings and lives.
Yeah.
And as you say, the sheltered, heart on the sleeve, emotional Phoxhunter versus that reserved and professional Boy Girl in the Dream, it was a challenge, but a really fascinating one and a really fun one.
Yeah.
To dive into both.
And then I played like a young protagonist. It's like a young you at
Well,
one
I think
point.
you did a young me.
Yeah. And so
I was too old. They were like, can you do 8 years old, Stu? And they were like, nope, you can't. We'll get Emma to do that.
But there are so many different versions that it was kind of, it was a real mind exercise to get into what was going on.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Very fun. Yeah. So I think that's something that I love so much about this game, is that, as we've talked about, the characters are so wonderful and they really do stay with you. Berry, that's the Phoxhunter protagonist's best childhood friend, which
she's like our first connection, isn't
first
she?
connection, like almost like a sibling. And there's this kind of quite traumatic beginning to the story where they're separated, and that is really the heart of why Phoxhunter is going on this quest. So that character relationship is so important to everything.
It drives the whole story.
Yeah, it really does. So that's an amazing kind of character relationship. Then Psyche as well. I mean, Psyche's story really stayed with me.
I just feel like everyone just needs to play Psyche's story.
Yeah, I don't know how much we're allowed to say.
I don't think we should. I don't think we should. But just do it. Just play Psyche's story, because...
And it's sad.
It
it's sad and
broke
it's
me a bit.
shocking.
Yeah.
But I think that's why people will, be committed to this game, and that, because you feel for the characters, and when
Well, it's so clear that devs really care about these characters and about you developing relationships with them, because there's so many scenes in the game that we recorded that are just dedicated to fleshing out the characters. And again, that is rare that you get that in a game, where it's not just, okay, here's a scene that gets us to the next point of the plot. We need to get here, we need to go there, these characters are here. But here we get like moments where we'll take Psyche for a walk around Ice Lake just to hear about her dreams and what she wants to achieve in life. And you're like, that's so lovely that we get that kind of background on these characters. But aside from the emotional stuff, you also just get like fun banter as well.
Yeah.
Like Snow.
Oh, I love Snow. Snow is like the character that brings out the protagonist, just kind of goofy,
yeah, they're like a
fun
double
side.
act.
Yeah. And because I think there is a lot of, as we've talked about, darker stuff, so the protagonist can be quite kind of held back, but Snow just...
Yeah, it's so important that Snow brings out
Yeah.
those moments of comedy, because, it would be heavy otherwise. But, there's so many fun characters. I can't wait for you all to meet them.
Yeah.
There's just so many. Have we experienced the gameplay? Sadly not.
I haven't experienced the gameplay.
I was not lucky enough to get into any betas or anything.
No, I mean,
so-
I've seen some stuff
Yeah.
online on YouTube. We've been lucky enough to see a few kind of cutscenes or bits and bobs when we've been recording. So we've got a good sense of the kind of the world and how beautiful the art is, and but in terms of the actual gameplay,
I mean, we're waiting with you. We're
Yeah.
we're like, come on, let's release. I want to play it.
But what we have heard, which is so exciting, is that any character can take any weapon, which is very rare.
I mean, the footage of the gameplay looks incredible. Like,
Yeah.
as I say, it's these anime-style battles where there's verticality to the combat. You're leaping up, you're dropping gunfire weapons, then you're swapping immediately to a scythe. You're carving through these filthoids, and there's so many filthoids.
Oh my god.
There's so many to carve through.
Yeah.
But that's the beautiful thing, is that you're powerful enough to just wipe them. It's a bit like, I used to play a game called Dynasty Warriors, which was, the whole appeal of it was like, you are this ultimate warrior, and you can mow through thousands. And like, and it was so fun, and that's the kind of flavour I was getting from this.
And you can have so much creative freedom and fun with it, because you can take any weapon you want, so you're not kind of limited to what character you're playing and what weapon you can use.
No, so you could
it's very
take
fun.
Psyche, who can fly, and you could give her a grenade launcher. So you could just fly up and be like, right, here you go, guys, enjoy. But yeah, it looks super, super fun. I cannot wait to get my hands on it.
Thank you all so much for the support.
Duet Night Abyss is now officially live, so
Woo!
jump in and experience it today.